Aqualung, my friend, don't just start away uneasy. You poor old sod, you see it's only me. Sitting on the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent. Starts running down his nose, greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Hey, Aqualung, drying in the cold sun, watching as the frilly panties run. Hey, Aqualung, feeling like a dead duck, spitting out pieces of his broken luck. Hey, Aqualung. on present platform, do your soft shoe shuffle dance. Brush away the cigarette ash that's falling down your pants. And then you sadly wonder, does the nurse treat your old man the way she should? She made you tea, asked for your autograph. What a laugh. As I did walk by Hampstead Fair, I came upon Mother Goose. So I turned her loose as she was screaming. And a foreign student said to me, was it really true? There are elephants and lions too in Piccadilly Circus. Bathing pond to try and catch some sun. Saw at least 100 schoolgirls sobbing into handkerchiefs as one. I don't believe they knew I was a schoolboy. And the bearded lady said to me, if you start your raving and you're misbehaving, you'll be sorry. Yeah. Then the chicken fancier came to play with his long red beard and his sister's witch. She drives a lorry. The potting green, I popped them in their hose. 4 and 20 labourers were labouring and digging up their clothes. I don't believe they knew that I was Long John Silver. Johnny Scarecrow make his rounds in his jet's black Mac, which he won't get back, stole it from a snowman. As I did walk by Hampstead Fair, I came upon Mother Goose. So I turned her loose as she was screaming. Must have been at least 100 schoolgirls sobbing into handkerchiefs as one. I don't believe they knew I was a schoolboy. Wond'ring aloud how we feel today. Last night sipped the sunset, my hand in her hair. We are our own saviors as we start, both our hearts beating live into each other. Wond'ring aloud, will the years treat us well? As she floats in the kitchen, I'm tasting the smell. Yeah. Of toast as the butter runs, then she comes, spilling crumbs on the bed, and I shake my head. And it's only the giving that makes you what you are. To the cinema and leave you in a wimpy bar. You tell me that we've gone too far, come running up to me. Make the scene at Cousin Jack's, leave him to put the bottles back. Mends his glasses that are cracked, well that's one up to me. Hey. Silver cloud to ride, pack the tennis club inside. Trouser cuffs hung far too wide, well it was up to me. Tires down on your bicycle, you know it feels like an icicle. The yellow-fingered smoky girl is looking up to me. Yeah. Common working man, with a half of bitter bread and jam. And if it pleases me, I'll put one on your man when the copper fades away. Oh, it's up to me. Season comes to pass, the day-glow pirate sings at last. And if I laughed a bit too fast, well, it was up to me. Take you to the cinema and leave you in a wimpy bar. You tell me that we've gone too far, come running up to me. Hey. People, what have you done? Locked him in his golden cage. Golden cage. Made him bend to your religion. Him resurrected from the grave. From the grave. He is the God of nothing, if that's all that you can see. You are the God of everything. He's inside you and me. So lean upon him gently and don't call on him to save. You from your social graces, oh, and the sins you're used to wave. You used to wave. The bloody Church of England in chains of history. Requests your earthly presence at the vicarage for tea. And the graven image, you know, with his plastic crucifix, he's got him fixed. Confuses me as to who and where and why, as to how he gets his kicks. confessing to the endless sin, the endless winding sounds. You'll be praying till next Thursday to all the gods that you can count. Oh, Father high in heaven, smile down upon your son. Yeah, was busy with his money games, oh, his women and his guns. But Jesus saved me. Killing Indian North Green, and then he made his name in Hollywood. Oh, just set the white man free. Jesus saved me.
Products of wealth push you along on the byway of their spiritless undying selves, and you press on God's way to your last dime as he hands you the bill, and you're spinning slipstream, tideless, unreasoning, paddle right out of the nest. You paddle right out.
all-time loser, headlong to his death. Oh, it feels a piston scraping, steam breaking on his brow. Old Charlie stole the handle, and the train it won't stop going. No, it could slow down. He sees his children jumping off the stations one by one. His woman and his best friend in bed and having fun. Oh, it's crawling down the corridor on his hands and knees. Old Charlie stole the handle, and the train it won't stop going. No, it should slow down. He hears the silence howling, catches angels as they fall, and the all-time winner has got him by the balls. Oh, he picks up Gideon's Bible, open at page 1. I thank God it stole the handle, and the train it won't stop going. No, it should slow down. 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 Way too slow down. No, way too slow down. Way too slow down. When I was young and they packed me off to school, and they taught me how not to play the game, I didn't mind if they groomed me for success, or if they said that I was just a fool. So I left there in the morning with a God tucked underneath my arm, the half-assed smiles and the book of rules. And I asked this God a question, and by way of firm reply, he said, I'm not the kind you have to wind up on Sundays. So to my old headmaster and to anyone who cares, before I'm through, I'd like to say my prayers. I don't believe you had the whole damn thing all wrong. It's not the kind you have to wind up on Sundays. Well, you can excommunicate me on my way to Sunday school and have all the bishops harmonize these lines.
When I was young and they packed me off to school, and they taught me how not to play the game. I didn't mind if they groomed me for success, or if they said that I was just a fool. So to my old headmaster and to anyone who cares, before I'm through, I'd like to say my prayers. Well, you can excommunicate me on my way to Sunday school, and have all the bishops harmonize these lines. I don't believe you. You had the whole damn thing all wrong. He's not the kind you have to wind up on Sunday.